So my second one, my brain was more on board because I had done research. So I'm like, okay, there's like trauma in bodies. This is something I'm just finding out now. I thought that trauma just lived in the head.
Yeah.
And I may feel emotions, I may feel tingling. I'm like, okay. So I went, and I remember it was in Brooklyn with a teacher that was trained by David Elliott. And I just felt like a lot more energy running through my body. And it started to build up in my chest. And I just kept surrendering and continuing to remind myself that I'm safe and that I trust my body. And then all
Hmm.
of a sudden, I felt like my heart just like burst open with so much love. And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, like I've never felt this much love. Like, what is going on here? I didn't even take anything. I'm just breathing over here.
That's such a good way to put it.
Um,
Like, it's just my breath.
yeah. And so after that, I just felt like my ability to love was more open. My ability to receive love from others was so open because I was so in my trauma, I was completely closed off to
Mhm.
taking a risk in loving just because I didn't want to get hurt.
Yeah. Wow. It's
So
just
yeah,
so,
that session completely started to shift everything.
yeah, it's so powerful. And in saying that, because I know we said that we had like a similar story, do you want to share just maybe a little bit about the trauma you experienced in terms of it, like not allowing that love in and out, and what you're experiencing in your body, even the messages that were coming through about your trauma?
Yeah. So I definitely experienced a lot of different types of trauma. There was like
Hmm.
psychological, physical, and all of that just kept building up to me, feeling and thinking and believing that it's not safe. It's not safe to do a lot of things. It's not safe to be me. It's not safe
Yeah.
to be seen. It's not safe to speak my truth. It's not safe to love. It's not safe to be loved. And
Hmm.
so I was really kind of sheltering myself. And the trauma that I experienced was, with family, there was sexual abuse as well.
Hmm.
And then with like ex boyfriends, it's just, just keeps building and building and building. And the thing that I didn't realize is that all of that that I didn't process, I was holding on. When I was pushing things away, I thought that I was pushing them out and like out of my system, out of my mind, out of my body. But really, what's happening is that they were just being stored in my body. And so that started to build up and affect how I would show up, affect my ability to let people in my life and develop relationships.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it was really, there's so many different shifts that have happened. But for me, I would say, even feeling safe to speak was a huge deal for me. It was hard for me to speak up in groups bigger than three. And now I hold circles with like, 20, 50,
Yeah.
100 people, and I'm able to speak
Hmm.
because I've actually done the work through breath work of processing and releasing that stuff from my body. And I also think that breath work is so beautiful and unique because you release what needs to be released, but not everything needs to leave. Sometimes all that needs to happen is alchemize the energy. So you're holding something and you breathwork helps you use that and transform it into something else. So you can do that or even integrate it into who you actually are. And then you show up as your full self.